Have you ever looked at a child who seems perfectly healthy, eats well, lives in a clean home, and has access to excellent health care, yet somehow catches every cold that goes around? Many parents find this confusing. Some even start wondering, is something wrong with my child's immune system? But here's the surprising truth. For young children, getting sick frequently is often a sign that the immune system is doing exactly what it's supposed to do. In fact, it's completely normal for preschool-aged children to experience multiple illnesses throughout the year, especially if they spend time around other children. And no, wealth, healthy appearance, expensive vitamins, or a spotless home do not make a child immune to germs. So why do healthy-looking kids seem to get sick all the time? Let's find out. When a child seems to be catching one cold after another, many parents assume their immune system must be weak. But pediatricians often explain that frequent minor illnesses are usually part of normal childhood development. A child's immune system isn't born fully trained. It has to learn. And just like learning a language or riding a bicycle, that process takes time and practice. Understanding why children get sick so often can help parents worry less and better recognize what is normal and what might actually need medical attention. One of the easiest ways to understand childhood immunity is to imagine the immune system as a giant library. When babies are born, most of the shells are empty. For a short time, they benefit from protective antibodies passed from their mother. But those protections gradually fade. From that point forward, children must build their own collection of immune memories. Every cold, every mild virus, and every infection teaches the immune system something new. The body learns how to recognize germs and respond faster the next time they appear. Think of every illness as adding another book to the library. Over the years, that library becomes larger, smarter, and more efficient. That's one reason older children and adults usually get sick less often than toddlers. Another major reason healthy kids get sick frequently is simple. They spend time with other children. Schools, daycares, playgrounds, birthday parties, and sports activities all bring children into close contact with one another. Young kids share toys. They touch the same surfaces. They cough. They sneeze. And let's be honest, they aren't always great at washing their hands. As a result, germs spread very easily. Whether a child attend a local daycare or an expensive private school makes very little difference to a virus. Germs don't care how much money a family has. If children spend time together, they will share microbes. That constant exposure is one reason early childhood often feels like an endless cycle of sniffles and runny noses. Many parents think their child keeps catching the same cold over and over again. But that's usually not the case. The common cold isn't caused by a single virus. It can be caused by hundreds of different viruses. A child might recover completely from one virus and then encounter a completely different one a week later. To parents, it looks like one long illness. But medically, they're often separate infections. That's why a child can seem healthy one moment and be back to coughing and sneezing shortly afterward. The immune system may have successfully defeated one virus, but there are many others still circulating. You may have heard of something called the hygiene hypothesis. This is the idea that children may benefit from some level of normal exposure to the microbes found in everyday environments. Researchers continue to study this topic, and it's more complicated than many people realize. It does not mean parents should stop washing hands or abandon cleanliness. Good hygiene remains extremely important. But scientists are interested in how outdoor play, contact with nature, and ordinary environmental exposure may help shape the developing immune system. In other words, children don't need to live in a bubble to stay healthy. Normal interaction with the world around them is part of growing up. Many people assume that children from affluent families should get sick less often. But good health and frequent illnesses are not always opposites. A child can have excellent nutrition, quality health care, a safe home, and still catch common viruses. Modern life also presents challenges that affect families across all income levels. Air pollution, poor sleep habits, excessive screen time, and highly processed foods can influence overall health regardless of wealth. The reality is that money can reduce certain risks, but it cannot eliminate exposure to germs. A healthy-looking child is still a human being with a developing immune system. So what should parents remember? First, frequent colds in young children are often completely normal. Second, healthy appearance does not mean a child is immune to infections. Third, focus on the basics that support long-term health. Keep vaccinations up to date. Encourage regular hand washing. Prioritize good sleep. Provide balanced meals. Encourage physical activity and outdoor play. And perhaps most importantly, remember that the goal is not to prevent every illness. The goal is to help children grow, learn, and build stronger immune defenses over time. This video is for educational purposes only and should not replace advice from a qualified healthcare professional. If you have concerns about your child's health, recurring severe infections, breathing difficulties, poor growth, or unusual symptoms, consult your pediatrician for personalized medical guidance. The next time you see a healthy child constantly catching colds, remember this. Their immune system may simply be learning. Every recovered cold, every mild virus, and every successfully defeated infection adds another lesson to their growing immune library. And over time, those lessons help build a stronger, more experienced immune system they'll rely on for years to come. If you found this video helpful, be sure to subscribe for more evidence-based health insights designed to help parents separate myths from medical reality. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.